Mafia II is a third-person action crime game released in 2010, set in the fictional American city of Empire Bay during the 1940s and 1950s. The game tells the story of Vito Scaletta, a young Italian man returning from the front lines of World War II, who is drawn into the world of organized crime as he seeks a way to improve his life and escape poverty. The game blends elements of classic mafia films.
May my soul burn in hell, just like this saint.
Amico nostra.
Dynamic action, and strong storytelling. Mafia II stands out for its attention to the details of the era, including music, clothing, and architecture, which helped to create the atmosphere of mid-20th century America. Prologue: Vito's return. The game begins in 1943. Vito Scaletta is the son of Sicilian immigrants, growing up in a poor neighborhood of Empire Bay. His family struggled to make ends meet, which led Vito and his best friend, Joe Barbaro, into petty crimes. After being caught during one of these crimes, Vito was given the choice to either go to jail or serve in the military during World War II. In the prologue, the player participates in a mission in Italy, where Vito and his squad fight against fascist forces. After being injured, Vito returns home and reunites with Joe, who is already deeply involved in the criminal world. Vito learns that his family is drowning in debt and soon decides to join the criminal underworld to help his mother and sister. Joining the Mafia. Vito's path. Joe helps Vito get his start in the criminal family, beginning with small jobs. The early missions introduce the player to the criminal world of Empire Bay, where Vito starts building a reputation. At first, he engages in minor robberies.
Please, how'd it go?
Yeah, piece of cake. Except for the fact that the car belonged to a bunch of moolies who immediately tried to kill me right after you left.
Debt collections, and smuggling.
Listen, I got these extra gas stamps. You want them? They're yours. Cheap.
But gradually, he gets involved in more serious work tied to the city's mafia families. One of the key figures in Vito's rise is Henry Tomasino, a mafia member who takes him under his wing. Through Henry, Vito meets powerful people and gets pulled into more dangerous and profitable operations.
Do it! Now!
Rising conflict, struggles for power. A major theme in Mafia II is the power struggle and the fight for status within the mafia hierarchy. Empire Bay is divided between several mafia families, each vying for control and profit from smuggling alcohol, drugs, and weapons. Vito and Joe soon find themselves caught up in the conflicts between these families, with each family fighting to control territories and resources. This is where the main storyline of the game begins. Focusing on the mafia wars, Vito becomes entangled in a drug-dealing scheme, leading to a series of betrayals, killings, and the shattering of his illusions about the mafia life. Characters and dramatic turns. One of the most impressive aspects of Mafia II is its well-developed characters and their relationships. Joe Barbaro is Vito's loyal friend, always ready to help, but his reckless behavior often leads them into trouble.
What the hell was that?
I don't know. The thing just blew.
We'll barely feel it, right?
All right. Let's go take a look.
I don't know why I f***ing listen to you. I swear, you're like a half a retard sometimes.
Remember?
God damn it, Joe. Can't you listen to me for once?
No, I can't.
Vito's sister, Francesca, plays a significant role as well, constantly reminding him of the family's moral values and responsibilities, which he often jeopardizes for money and power. The real tragedy occurs when Vito and Joe discover that Henry has been working with federal agents, trying to escape the mafia world.
Why you had our friend killed. We also want the money you took from him.
I had no choice. Your friend was a government informer.
What the f*** are you talking about?
This leads to dramatic events that escalate into an open conflict with mafia bosses. The price of betrayal and lost hopes. The game reaches its climax when Vito is thrust into a mafia war he cannot avoid. The conflict between the mafia families peaks, and Vito and Joe are forced to face off against both old allies and enemies. The ending of Mafia II is a tragic tale of betrayal.
You disappoint me, Vito. You really do.
I'm gonna do a hell of a lot more than disappoint you, Derek.
Broken dreams,
Torch the place! Do it! Now! Born! You dago cunt! Born!
and the harsh realities of the criminal world.
Marty! No! No! They shot him! He's dead, Vito!
Joe, come on. We gotta get out of here. You can't help him now.
Be careful, Vito! This is for Marty. Hey, all that stuff they got pointed up is just things, Vito.
Just things. Hey, those were my things, Joe. Why do you think I do the shit we do anyway? It's to buy things. You know, suits, cars, broads, houses. Now I'm back to scratch. And all my damn cash was in that house, too. I promised myself I'd never be poor again. End up a fucking wharf rat like my old man.
After all the trials he's been through, Vito realizes that there's no place for loyalty and honesty in the Mafia.
Mr. Angelo,
Yes?
Mr. Salieri sends his regards.
In the final scene, Vito watches as his friend Joe is taken away to an unknown fate, symbolizing that, despite all their efforts, they cannot escape the consequences of their actions.
Sorry, kid. Joe wasn't part of our deal.
Game themes, power, betrayal, and morality. Mafia II explores significant themes such as the thirst for power, the price of betrayal, and moral dilemmas. Vito starts his journey with the intention of helping his family and making something of himself. However, as he rises in the Mafia ranks, he learns that this life demands enormous sacrifices, both moral and personal. In the end, Vito understands that there is no place for simple choices or happiness in the Mafia world.
Don't you, Joe?
What the fuck is this?
I could ask you the same question.
Loyalty's a funny thing, huh, Vito? No such thing as friendship in this business.
Conclusion. Mafia II is a deep, atmospheric story about the criminal world, offering players not only action, but also emotional drama. The game masterfully recreates the atmosphere of the 1940s to 50s, immersing players in the world of organized crime, where every decision has its consequences. Vito's fate is a tragic story of a man who wanted to escape poverty, but ended up trapped by his ambition and circumstances.
I killed for my country. I killed for my family. I killed anybody that got in my way. But this one's for me. Prick.